Good evening and welcome to Sunday Politics on Trust TV, your trusted platform for robust conversation on topical issues in the country. I am Shafi'u Suleiman. Tonight, we'll take a look at the deteriorating security situation in Nigeria as the citizens bid farewell to the year 2024 with particular concerns over the return of suicide bombers in Borno State, one of the most hit by the Boko Haram insurgency. Boko Haram terrorists were on Tuesday reported to have killed 2 persons and injured at least 6 soldiers through drone attack in Wajiroku, Dambo local government area of Borno State. In a similar incident, a suicide bomber who disguised as sympathizer detonated an IED, that is, an improvised explosive device, and killed 2 minors and injured 1 other person in Dalori town, a few kilometers away from Maiduguri, the state capital. These sad events come a few days after military mishap that killed at least 10 innocent villagers in Gidan Sama, Arumtua, in Selame local government area of Sokoto state, have raised concerns over the troubling state of Nigeria's security architecture as the nation crosses over to 2025. On the diplomatic front, the standoff between Nigeria, ECOWAS on one hand, and Niger Republic military junta on the other over the recent allegations by its leader, General Abdulrahman Chiani, alluding to conspiracy by the regional leader against his country, is still reverberating despite refutal by the Nigerian authorities, describing the allegation as baseless. Now, to help navigate the issues is the convener of the League of Northern Democrats, NLD, Dr. Omar Ardo, who recently wrote an article demanding thorough investigation into the matter. He is going to join us from London via Zoom. We're also joined by a security and intelligence expert, Dr. Sani Aliyu. He joins us here in the studio. But before we run the conversations, let's take a short break. We'll be back shortly. Stay with us. Thank you very much for staying with us. And you're watching Sunday Politics live from Trust TV here in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. And just like I said earlier at the introductory level, we have 2 layers of conversation. The first has to do with the dynamics, if you like, or the emergence or return of suicide bombers, especially at least rather in Borno State, talking about the attack on civilian and of course military base in Dalori, that is Wajiroku, that is in Damboa, and then at Dalori where a suicide bomber detonated his IED, killing 1 person and injuring others, at a funeral site, so to speak. Now, this are some disturbing, commentaries coming from the nation security architecture, especially as the nation bid farewell to 2024. How does this, or rather what will this do in terms of shaping the narratives ahead of 2025 in terms of dealing with security in Nigeria, is what we'll be taking a look at. And I have in the studio right now Dr. Sani Aliyu, a security and intelligence expert. It's good to see you once again.
Thank you very much for having me in the studio.
Right, okay. Yeah, contrary to the claim, if you like, by Nigerian authorities, at different fora, they did mention or maintain that the nation is getting it right in terms of dealing with security issues. In fact, at some point, they take the credit, saying that the Tinubu administration is doing well in terms of tackling insecurity in the country. No territory is in the hands of non-state actors. The kidnappers and bandits are disappearing. A number of their commanders have been taken out, and so on and so forth. But in the last couple of days, there are disturbing issues around security, especially going back to Borno State, an epicenter of the Boko Haram insurgency. This recent attacks, one is actually even a drone attack, not an IED attack. The one at Wajiroku, but then what do you make up of this resurgence of the bombings, especially taking this dimension, drone, non-state actors using drones? What do you make up with this development?
Well, it is quite a challenging and unfortunate situation. One will not say that the Nigerian military or the Tinubu administration has not been doing too well in regards to tackling insecurity in Nigeria. Of course, it is something physical, something you can feel. The rate of traveling day and night has improved greatly in the northern part of the country, and of course we have seen some progresses here and there in terms of having a very secured environment within the north. But you know, fighting insurgency is not something that you will say you have overcome it at once. You can degrade it to a certain manageable level, but your capacity to manage that degradation is another question. And again, regarding drones, Nigerian youths are very ingenious, and sometimes it baffles me a lot when I hear the military buying drones from outside the country or importing all these things that a small child in Nigeria can actually produce. We have children that does a lot of flying objects around the country that if the government is serious in trying to in a technological evolution, they should have been able to go around, scout for these children, bring them together, and see the quality of their capacity in terms of production of drones and other relative security objects or machineries that they can tap from there, and then maybe perfect them in so many ways. So those drones you see, like the military spokesperson said the other time, that it's not an attacking drone, it's just a local drone that was used, and then they infuse some of the bombing explosive IEDs inside it, and you know, it doesn't really catch the ideological sense of a serious country where you will see a particular thing that causes damage and you are now degrading it to say that well, it's a local something.
Yes, so I'm trying to get you right. You know, are you buying into the idea or the claim by the Nigerian military, headquarters, the defense headquarters, that it was a toy, a toy drone? We're talking about casualties here.
A toy drone that causes casualties. I mean, it doesn't make sense. When the military spokesman was talking, I was watching at him with disdain. I was surprised as a military general. You see something that causes casualty, and you are telling us that it's toy. Yes, let it be toy. Toy that a lot of reconnaissance equipment or machines are toy-like. They are toy-like. They do it like toys, so that people may not see it as seriously, and so they cause a lot of damage. Yeah. So now, something that's able to cause damage, you are saying it's a toy, and it's not something serious, but it has caused damage. And that's beating your own security network, your intelligence network. So what are you telling us? Instead of you to apologize to Nigerians for having incurred such damage, and then tell us that you are going to do something about it, not to commonize it. And this is what we are saying. Yes, even though he commonized it to become local, what happened to them? Are they not there? Are they not seeing these guys that are producing all these flying objects around? Why wouldn't they tap into the technology? Are they not locals? Are they not Nigerian? Is it a sin for Nigerian to be productive? I mean, to be manufacturing all these weapons. I had a case with a boy that I took to the military one time, who said he can produce an attacking drone. And I expect the military to explore that boy and to see the best they can get of.
Perhaps some of these guys with this kind of
go to China. Small children do all these things. Go to China. So what stops us from becoming a serious country for once?
Right. But then, looking at the claims, several claims by the military authorities, by the Nigerian government, that these Boko Haram insurgents have been degraded to the extent that they don't have any capacity to launch attack, and so on. And then, some will say even the use of drone, is alien to this conflict, if you like. This this fight, between the Nigerian authorities and the non-state actors, talking about the Boko Haram insurgents, for instance. For the first time, they're using drone and they're making an impact. What do you make up with their access to it? That's one. And then two, their ability to navigate through the terrain, just like you said, to be able to launch such an attack.
The funniest thing about the whole thing is that the military refused to understand, or either deliberately or so, refused to understand what is called terrorism. Terrorism has local face, it has international face, it has transnational face, it is national, it is local, and they are in different set of asymmetric war. So they are in different cells. The cells extend beyond Libya, Burkina, Niger,
because of the link,
Mali,
perhaps, with
and so on and so forth. And they have communications links. And you should not underestimate or undermine these guys, their capacity. That is where we get it wrong, especially if you look at Nigeria. We have a fire brigade approach, even in our football match. Instead of us to get early prepared and be ready for a situation, we commonize the situation until at the dying minute, then we start running up and down. And that's why up till today, our security arrangement has not been proactive. It has always been reactive, reactionary.
So what would this say, about the millions of taxpayers' money that has been invested, in this fight against Boko Haram, in this fight against, these non-state actors and so on, over the years, And then what does also this say about taking over the territories? Because it has also become a concern. Even recently, I think the governor was talking about 3 local governments or so that are yet to be habited, a number of places that are not occupied as we speak. After the military was able to dislodge the Boko Haram insurgents. What happened to this unoccupied space?
You see, let me tell you, there's a missing gap here. Now, the military, their constitutional purview does not give them do not make them for internal security. Of course, it is territorial integrity
to liberate the areas and then allow.
Now what is missing? The missing is that Nigeria doesn't have a constitutionally mandated agency that is dedicated mainly to fight terrorism and insurgency, and yet it's the most devastating act of criminality that has got a lot of life.
But is it wrong for the military, for the armed forces, for instance, to aid the civil authorities? I think this is what is happening.
No, you see, the issue is, one thing is to win the war. The other thing is to maintain the peace after the winning of the war. The military can degrade terrorism for all it takes to degrade them. But where is the agency on ground that is going to maintain that victory? None.
What about the state, the civil authorities? Police is there, perhaps to maintain,
Police, we all knew the stand of police when it comes to fighting terrorism. In fact, we all knew when they were putting their uniform in the back and running away in Maiduguri and so on. So there's no place in the world that police is assigned to fight terrorism. Even in the US, what they did, they created another new organization called what do you call them? Homeland Security, to take care of it. In that Homeland Security, we have military, we have police, we have civil.
But this is also a joint operation, It is not just about.
No, what you are saying is military operation. We are talking about kinetic. There is non-kinetic aspect of the war against the terrorism that is not in place in Nigeria. And this is what I'm saying. That it is high time for Tinubu-led government to understand this, and the NSA to equally see the need of creating an agency that is called counter-terrorism agency, not the one they have today around the villa with a building called counter-terrorism or whatever they are calling it. There is no full soldiers.
So what would make it different from what is currently on ground? If you have a unit specifically for that?
No, you see, it's just like you said, the police have a CID unit, and though there's no need for the DSS. That's what you are telling me. We have DSS, and there is no need of NIA, or there is no need for DIA, Defense and Military Intelligence. No matter what, we need an agency that the president can fire and hire the person for either its ability to deal with the situation or inability to perform. But if there is any breach, like today we have some bombing somewhere around Maiduguri or something, like you are saying now, so who is to be held responsible? Are you going to hold the chief of defense staff, or the chief of army staff, or the chief of air chief of school? So we need to have an agency.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a blame game thing. I think what is needed perhaps is to, review the security architecture itself, and then to review and see where the lapses are. Because if Boko Haram seem to have been degraded, has the capacity to use drones, and even inflict casualties on innocent people, including military, soldiers, injuring soldiers and all of that, then it means attacking a base in the first place.
Let me tell you the open spaces. You see what is happening at the train station today? Our rail system is an open space. And Nigeria, I'm telling the military and all the security agencies that they should be aware of what is happening at our train station. It's an open space now. From the day they declared free ride, you can see all sorts of people surveying that place, moving around up and down. And anything can happen. So you see, this.
There is need to us as you're looking at. Trying to do something to ease the hardship of Nigerians. Also look at the security component.
Yes. Now, the issue here is while the president is saying, okay, we're trying to soften the hardship of Nigerians. What is the security implication of doing that? And again, we shouldn't take it away that this is how it started when we were talking and warning, and it still happened. So it's about being proactive, and it's about knowing that once the military is deploying drones and the police are equally acquiring drones, so also
the non-state
actors like the terrorists will equally. This is an open market. They can have access to this.
But what happened to the supply chain? Because the whole idea about counter-terrorism operations, especially the joint operation, like the one we have in the Lake Chad and all of that, was perhaps to also fortify the supply chain.
Absolutely.
So how has this been?
Absolutely. But when you have your border secure, Nigeria has 1,050 porous borders. 1,050 unmanned borders. So tell me, who is going to check who? Hey, when you have such a porosity of border, then who is going to check who? So there is the need for. I still insist there is the need for the National Assembly to call for to look around, to scout around the security non-governmental organizations that are around, and find that the people that are working closely with the military or the other security agencies, and say, okay, now let's bring these people together and let's create an agency called Counter-Terrorism Agency. An organization like NESO has proven itself. So they can do that, and they're just like Tinubu, former President Obasanjo, when there was a lot of vandalization, pipe burst all over the country, he now looked at and saw civil defense as a military NGO. As what do you call it, paramilitary NGO, and then flag them up as a government agency to take care of those critical government infrastructures. So also the Tinubu's government should look into creating an agency called Counter-Terrorism Agency that will assist them, that will be there for the military. Immediately the military has finished its own game,
as they move
on, these guys take over and ensure that all the leakages at our borders and even within the communities are sealed up.
Right. Okay, now talking about the attack, the IED attack in Dalore, where a suicide bomber detonated an IED, he disguised as a mourner, and then was able to kill one person and injure several others. Now again, talking about degrading Boko Haram and its fighters and their capacity now to be able to develop IEDs, sneak through the innocent, unsuspecting public, and then even detonating them successfully.
It's about radicalization of vulnerable people. Yeah. I was saying this a long time ago. I think during during Jonathan, yes, that the first in contact with Boko Haram in the forest will be the Fulanis, the herders, and so there's a possibility of radicalizing them and bringing them in on board to cause mayhem and insecurity in parts of the country. And this is what led to banditry that we see in the Northwest. And so also there are still youths that are still vulnerable to this set of people, farmers and all those, that they can still
While you talk about the radicalization, the federal government is also working on de-radicalization.
For those that have submitted themselves. For only those that have submitted themselves or those that the military were able to capture. But the issue is this: who is radicalizing them? Is it the military? If the military is de-radicalizing them, there's not going to be success, because you cannot ask my enemy to de-radicalize me. So there must be.
So how do you think
there must be a civilian outfit that is dedicated to. As specialized as the
rehabilitation process,
to do that, carry out the rehabilitation processes and so on and so forth, and to know how they can be bring back to the society to be more useful to the society. But what we are having today is the military base that is saying that is radicalizing these guys. They wouldn't, from all their relationships, military have always been their enemy. So they will pretend as if they are submission.
To the company,
they will pretend as soon as you leave them, they go back to their base.
But bottom line is, the idea is, there should be a cordial working relationship between the military and, of course, the civilian population. Is it that there is absence of trust? Are you talking about trust deficit here?
The military has, to a very large extent, trust with the civilian population. But what I'm saying is, for a dedicated agency, specialized with experts, trained experts who knows how to go about non-kinetic aspect of
the
countering terrorism and bringing unique peace and harmony and work and through the radicalization and so on and so forth in the country. Right. So this is what we are saying.
Looking at the incidences, also coming few days after this mishap, the military airstrike, that hit civilian population in Silami local government area of Sokoto State,
It's one incident too many.
Yeah, but I'm talking about a series of some of these mishaps and the need to take responsibility. There has been back and forth in respect to even acknowledging that this has happened, and then there has been also back and forth in terms of accepting that, there was a mishap. The military was saying that it was, a clear-cut
second level.
At some point, they talk about detonation and all of that, and then
as far as I'm concerned,
the vice president is acknowledging and then, apologizing.
As far as I'm concerned, the military should actually be up its game, and it should know that much as we want security, and then we are fighting insurgents in these so-called forest areas. There are locals, there are villages and settlement within those things.
And I should expect that there's what they call, term of engagement or so. Even the theater of operation, and there are rules.
Of course, they have those rules are there, and what I'm saying is that the people that are doing the reconnaissance of that area are not giving them the right signals. You understand? So they need to improve on that. If their equipment is not giving them the real situation on ground, they should get a better equipment that will give them the real situation on ground, so that when they ask and when they send for an attack, the person that is attacking knows exactly where and who.
But what is the essence of the ground troops? Perhaps some will say there is also, some deficit in terms of communication between, the air component and also the ground troops.
To be candid, as far as I'm concerned, there are areas that are very difficult areas terrain to access. So sometimes it is easier for you to get quick result, to just send aerial attack and so on and so forth. So it is a very difficult situation. Of course,
but the level,
you know, when you are fighting terrorists, they don't. Some of them
those hibernating among the civilian population,
wearing civilian dresses. That's why it's just like you are fighting guerrilla warfare. So it is very difficult. And usually in such war, we used to have lost spanners. So there's the time that you have unavoidable casualties.
But then you took, just like you said, it is one incident too many.
Yes.
And what happened to compensation? You know, remember the incident in Kaduna? Over 100 people were killed, you know, by that airstrike at Tudumbiri and so on, and quite a number of series of some of those attacks. I mean, mishaps. Who takes responsibility? And
the military is supposed to take responsibility, and there should be provision for such incidents of compensation when it occurs. But when you look at even the other time I was discussing with a group of people, you have military personnel that happened to secure serious injuries and so on and so forth. Some died in the course of defending this country. Their families are wallowing in pains, and nobody is taking care of them. So the system has a problem of reward, mechanism. So if the military itself will suffer from such reward mechanism, then what happened to the civilian casualties? So you see, I think the National Assembly and the military should, maybe the committees of the military National Assembly should sit down and look at this again properly, so that we should place a high premium on the life of the Nigerian citizen. It is very, very painful for lack of military lack of professionality to cause pain to the people they say they are protecting and defending. So it is very, it's not acceptable. It is very painful. I console those loved ones also. But I'm calling on the president, because President Tinubu is all hearing, is listening, and I think he's trying to do his best in this area. He should call on the military to look at this thing properly. And again, I'm calling on the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher. He's a very youthful, agile, and very listening person too, so that they will look at the situation, how it is, and see how they can be able to make sure that such thing doesn't occur again. And then tell the military to take responsibility. Let General Christopher, the Chief
because I'm actually going to ask this question. Tell
these chiefs that if such thing occur, first they need to do is to take responsibility and seek for forgiveness.
So what happened now? Because looking at what has happened recently and how the military reacted, insisting that it was the right target. It was the right target because based on their reconnaissance and all of that, they are targeting the Lakurawas, and they, those attacked have something to do with the Lakurawas and all of that.
No, what they are saying, what I'm trying to say here is that when they were attacking the right target, they now came across their armed dump, and then they hit the armed dump, and from their armed dump, the second level explosion happened and killed people, not their own direct. It doesn't make sense.
So what I'm trying to, the question I'm even trying to ask here is that, looking at the series of some of these mishaps and how they affect the ordinary people, the civilian population, what does this do also in terms of, affecting the trust, between the military and the civilian population? Because this deficit is already existing.
The trust is now dying. And of course, so this Nigerian unity is something that is always at front when it comes to situations like this. We know we are very, sentimental people, and when this thing is happening in the north is saying that they are just killing them for nothing. They have it's an agenda.
Yeah, conspiracy.
It is an agenda, conspiracy theory, and so on and so forth. They have killed even the military that come to say they are saving them. They are killing the population again outside
Yeah, the non-state actors.
The non-state actors damages they have.
Okay, because the conversation.
So the truth is that the military should know that this matter is very sensitive, and the first thing to say to somebody is just a 4-letter word. I am sorry. I'm sorry. When you say I'm sorry,
even though that wouldn't bring the life back.
Even though it will not bring the life back. But why are you saying that you are doing the right thing? Meanwhile, what you did is wrong. Why will you have to take responsibility and say, I'm sorry.
Now, they've left the political authority, if you like, to do that, because the vice president is now accepting responsibility and then asking for forgiveness and so on and so forth. But then, before we open the line, because we need to also expand the conversation, yes, we can go on and open the line so that Nigerians can also call and share their thought with us. But before we get the lines, calls coming in, I want to get your view in respect to how all of these incidences, would shape the year 2025 we're approaching, especially with the government saying that addressing or tackling insecurity is its main agenda, it is central focus. We've seen how much money has been invested, rather is being channeled towards addressing security in 2025. What would this say in shaping, the security architecture?
As far as I'm concerned, this is my whole opinion. Yeah. The government has not started doing anything yet. If you can hold your breath, I think we have a caller. You can finish that line of thought.
Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Suleiman.
Yes, who do we have on the line?
My name is Shafi'u Suleiman from Katana State.
Okay, Shafi'u, go ahead, please.
Yes. So security situation in this country is almost deteriorating every day.
Okay, go ahead. We're listening.
Yes,
go ahead.
So the government has claimed it is doing its best to mitigate this problem. But up to now, there is a lot of things to do. Because I am telling you, the country, the responsibility of every government is to secure the citizens.
Primarily.
To make sure
that is the primary responsibility.
To live in peace, especially armless, defenseless citizens. To live in peace and harmony. So the way how these bandits and other miscrimes attack people, ransacking people, defenseless citizens, killing innocent lives.
Let me ask you, you're calling from Katsina. Are you saying that they are not seeing any significant change or rather reduction in this wave of attacks by bandits in that area?
I am telling you, Suleiman, I spent more than 10 days sleeping on top of the tree to protect my family. I don't have any gun or something that can seriously defend myself. But all the efforts that the government is claiming it is doing will not see it on ground.
Okay, can you tell us the specific area you are? Which local government and which community? I
am presently in Batari local government.
Yeah, it's one of the affected areas.
I have a family in Zibia local government, and everybody knows what is happening in Batari, Zibia, Sapanadu, among other things.
Okay.
So the government has said it is doing its best to make sure it is secure the place. But most of those bandits that are hiding in the forest,
yes,
they know where they are. Most of the security personnel know where the locations they are. They can make a call. They can collect a ransom.
Okay.
Why are the military and other security personnel?
All right.
Team up, went to the area, defeat them.
Okay.
Because if we can stay in our home, unless one the bandit comes, so that the security personnel can defend. So that we are in trouble.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you very much. I think you made the point. Yeah. Thank you very much for calling. One of the callers.
That is the issue of proactiveness. Yeah. It is not. It is when situation comes that you see them rushing.
Reactive, being reactive.
Reactive. Our military And whatever security system is, as no, we don't have
does this speak to the number? Because the concern is that there's no enough boots on ground and all of that. And then you talked about the vast nature of the country and how
I keep saying this thing that the Tinubu's government and the previous government and any other government, whether Tinubu or the next coming government, whichever government, that did not see it necessary to create a counter-terrorism agency, this situation will continue unabated.
I think we have another caller on the line. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Who is on the line?
Yes. You are speaking with Mala Yusuf.
Sorry? The name again?
My name is Yusuf.
Oh, I didn't get that. Okay, from where are you calling?
I'm calling from Kwara State.
From Kwara State. Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, please, I want to support this my intelligent man there.
Go ahead.
This my intelligent security expert.
Yes.
He was saying the right thing, that our military, they don't take action until maybe things have escalated.
So you agree they are reactive rather than being proactive, right?
Yes, because I want to give you a very good instance.
Okay.
In my local government here in Kayama local government, Kwara State.
Just go ahead and make your point. We are listening.
Okay. So this forest, I'm having a forest here that is being occupied by bandits, or will I call them Boko Haram or ASWAP or no, or what? They are disturbing us here for more than 5 years now, and Nigerian government has not done anything. As I'm talking to you presently, there is a chief. There is a chief called Mala Aliyu Musa from Vobera. He has been kidnapped for more than 1 week now. Nothing has been done.
Well, you wouldn't know, perhaps, because security issues are not publicized. Perhaps there is a.
Yes, we have military, but they are not responding at all. We don't know what is actually happening. And these people, it is better they should attack them right away before they should grow more than this.
Okay. I think I understand.
They are having a leader. Their leader is Mala Mahmuda. If you cross their way, if you are arrested and taken to that forest, you'll be slaughtered.
That's serious. All right.
So this has been a threat for us in this local government. So we don't know what the Nigerian government is doing.
All right. I think that the authorities
so that's why
are listening.
I'm in support of my elderly brother there.
All right.
In fact, if the Nigerian government did not take action between now and next year, these people will even be more than Boko Haram.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Because there are about 3 villages now in my local government here that you cannot go there. They dictate what they want to do.
They are at the Kayama axis,
Yes, in Kayama here.
I understand it's in Kwara State, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
I hope the security, the authorities are listening to you. And then Dr. Sani Aliyu will also comment on that. Talking about
yes,
this.
Please do that.
All
in
right.
Kayama local government in Kwara State, and with the security men here, we have every security men are present in Kayama, but nothing has been done.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. I think you made the point. Talking about what is happening in that axis. There has been reported cases of invasion by Boko Haram elements and so on over time.
One funny thing that keeps baffling me is that during Jonathan administration, some certain group of persons came to that Kayama axis in Kwara State, removed Nigerian flag, and hosted Benin flag there.
That's a very serious problem.
That was a very serious problem. And telling you, they bring in their own gendarme police there until such an action was taken, and then I don't know how they ended it, but I will tell you something for real. I have traveled the length and breadth of the whole of this country, and you'll be surprised that a lot of majority of you can count more than 20-30 villages before you can see 20 policemen.
I think that has been established. There is insufficiency in terms of the number, and then also there is ungovernable space. Even the federal government admitted that. I think the reason why it is spending huge amount of money, some 4.9 trillion thereabout, largely they said was to recover those ungovernable spaces and so on. So even the government,
if they recover it, how will they maintain the peace there? This is what we are saying.
Okay, I think we have another call.
Hello?
Sorry. Hello, good evening. Good evening, yes.
Good evening, Shafi'u Suleiman.
Yes, good evening, Shamaki, I'm sure.
I'm the guest in the studio, Shamaki from Akwanga, National State.
Okay, Shamaki, please make your point.
You see, the question some of us are asking, why is insecurity only happening in the northern part of Nigeria?
Is it only? There are other regions that are also facing their own kind of insecurities. You have the IPOB operating in the southeast. You have the militants also in the southwest and south. Okay, I can hear you.
Thank God you used to enlighten us. Every blessing that you will only see either Katsina or Sokoto or Zamfara. These are the only part of this northern state this thing is happening. So something needs to be done, because the last time we experienced bombers, people come with bombs and begin to exploit bomb people, but this thing is resurfacing again. So something needs to be done. Actually,
it should be of concern to the authorities.
Contribution.
Okay, thank you very much, Shamaki. But I think security, insecurity is a national issue. But then the frequency, perhaps, the global issue. The frequency, perhaps, might be slightly different.
I keep saying that there is the need for us to have the arrangement of our security network and our security agencies. I think if you should bring a general or a DSS director or DG of DSS or NIA boss, which they should be, or the NSA himself, they should be able to tell us the trajectory of Nigerian security network or system or deliveries in the next 100 years. Do we have such thing? No. We don't have it. No, before the fall of Libya, we have to, I keep sending warnings to the government that the fall of Libya will bring insecurity into the country, because there's going to be influx of illegal arms and ammunition into the country, and this is what is disturbing us today. Okay,
all right. So what do you think needs to be done going forward? Because we're rounding up, but we have less than a minute. What do you think needs to be done, to stem the tide of this rising insecurity, especially as we head towards 2025?
Tinubu and the National Security Advisor should see the need of creating another agency. We cannot leave everything in the hands of the military. God forbid, if we have external aggression coming to Nigeria, who is going to defend Nigeria? While our military has exhausted itself fighting miscreants around the state, around the country. So what money, what expenses have we been, what expenditure have we been giving into the military with their training and all those? Most of them are killed by all these miscreants. So there is the need for new agency that will be called counter-terrorism agency in Nigeria to take over this thing. If there is need for military or for highly connected presence, the military will come and give its support. As soon as the thing is this thing, they go back and then the rest continue.
Yeah, the concern is that they're beginning to become part of this, the internal security arrangement.
We cannot continue with the military like this, because Nigeria is we are leaving our country to become vulnerable.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Sani Aliyu, a security and intelligence expert, for giving us your informed perspectives on the platform. And viewers, we also appreciate your calls and your thoughts. And I hope the authorities are also listening and will take the necessary steps to address the shortfalls. And on behalf of the technical crew, this is where we end the conversation tonight. My name is Shafi'u Suleiman. Have a wonderful evening ahead.